I like that Honduran cigar, the spirits rise. Smoke curling like ancestors whispering in the skies. Dr. Sebi in my left ear saying heal from inside. This ain't no new land, we the ones they try to deny. Before Columbus ever dreamed the ship steer, we was building mounds, doing rituals with no fear. From Yucatan to Galveston, New Orleans near. That's a triangle of soul, but the map been clear. Second lines ain't parades, that's ancestral rights. Tambourines and feathers under full moonlight. We ain't immigrants now, we the original might. Built pyramids and bone flutes before Rome took flight. Topcatz said it loud, stop begging for permission. Our culture ain't missing, it's just deep in tradition. We ain't African cause they told us we remember the mission. The land speaks Creole, soul food and intuition. We been here through the blood and the drum, through the elders, the chants and the kiss of the sun. Smoke rise from the leaf, yeah, we talk to the sky. And the ancestors' rhythm, we never die. We been here, oh yeah, we been here. Way before they wrote their lives, we still live. This our home, not a place we disappear. Jaheim singing truth through the pain and the tears. Granny sat me down, roll something slow. Said when you puff, give thanks, let the cosmos know. I inhale the jungle, exhale the flow. Spitting stories that the textbook still scared to show. Cigar lit like a torch from ancient rites. Aromas like prayers to the Orishas at night. New Orleans ain't a tourist tale, it's black divine. Where the jazz horns been time and the spirits align. Forget Columbus, we was dancing in stars. Trading turquoise, dripping culture in bars. Drums talking codes, spirits moving cars. Look close, the past ain't gone, it's just behind these stars. From Congo Square to Trammy porches, we built this land, no need for endorsements. The Mardi Gras beats ain't just for decor. That's soul armor, homie, we was gods before war. We been here through the blood and the drum, through the elders, the chants and the kiss of the sun. Smoke rise from the leaf, yeah, we talk to the sky. In the ancestors' rhythm, we never die. We been here, oh yeah, we been here. Way before they wrote their lives, we still live. This our home, not a place we disappear. Jaheim singing truth through the pain and the tears. Through the blood and the drum, through the elders, the chants and the kiss of the sun. Smoke rise from the leaf, yeah, we talk to the sky. In the ancestors' rhythm, we never die. We been here, oh yeah, we been here. Way before they wrote their lives, we still live. This our home, not a place we disappear. Jaheim singing truth through the pain and the tears. We been here, oh yeah, we been here. Way before they wrote their lives, we still live. This our home, not a place we disappear. Jaheim singing truth through the pain and the tears.
Peace. All right, we're going to try this one more time. Just want to make sure the audio is straight for everybody to get in the building. How y'all doing out there? We got Nana in the building, Black Hawk Tank, Sister Wanda. We got Kid. He said, shout out our copper-colored Indigenous American. We got, I'm in love with Mary Jane. We had a beautiful Miss Mary Jane. We got, who did it? Miss Michelle Walker. Miss Trina in the building, 4766, we felt in it. Y'all drop a 1 and let me know what we doing with the audio. Darius, what up though? I see your family. Y'all drop that. Let me know what we doing with the audio. Let me get my little sage. It was a gift, so usually me and gifts, I might wham, I might use it. A lot of times I like to put them up. So you give me some, one thing you know, I'm gonna keep it damn near for life. I'm gonna try to keep it for life. So you give me some, it's in good hands. But man, I hope y'all had a great week, great weekend. Ready to get this week started. Putting positive vibes in the air. You dig? Positive energy in the air. What's up with it, Jaguar Papa? What's up with it, Talika in the building? Ori, come give me a hug. Ori, you know I'm sorry. Yeah, I know you got your refund. Um, yeah, so the Cancun tour is officially canceled. I do want to say that. Unfortunately, broke my heart, man. But at the end of the day, you know, we were supposed to be gone this weekend. Right now, today, I'm not supposed to be sitting in my office doing this show. I'm supposed to be out there kicking it with the family, you know, and some of the fam, they out there, you know. Um, you know, I'm always optimistic. Teresa always saying friendly ass nigga, you know, but you know, deadline is a deadline. And I pushed the deadline back twice and I just felt like it wasn't right. And when the day came that we were supposed to be on, just broke my heart. I never had to cancel a trip. I canceled one trip and it still ended up kind of happening. That was our very first trip. So we canceled it because of the weather, but people still pulled up. So we still made something out of it. We hit the park. Me and Talika in the crowd. We out there humming with the camera. You know, Big Sig them pulled up. The Louisiana boys, Big D, Kiri them came through. You know, Tifa, Ken, you know, we in H-Town or Orion, you know, Ken right there on one side. So man, nah, it was cool. But that was the only one we ever had to cancel. But we still got to be around each other. And so this one hurt. And I know how many people really want to get to them. And it'd be about the alignment if we just keep it real, man. Because if we be honest, with this date, I wouldn't have been able to make it to Mexico because of the recent death in my family and how close it is, and you know, planning funeral arrangements, you know, obituaries. There's so many steps you got to go through, and you know, so many people hurt, and you know, mentally you just not in the right headspace, and so when the date changed, I don't know, man, it'd be the ancestors, man. Just got a lot on the plate right now. So Ebenezer, she already didn't feel comfortable with me going. She like, Tracy not there, I'm not there. I'm like, Alpha already gone up. So she's like, well, Lolita, what Carla? I'm like, Carla gonna be there. I heard from Lolita, but Carla coming. And you know what's crazy? I remember we were standing outside smoking the Mexican Newports. Shout out to Carla out there had to go to Mexican Newports. And she gave me a box. And I remember flying back with it. And Carla, I still got them bitches to this day. I ain't smoked one or nothing. But I gotta tell you, mother can't give me nothing. I'm gonna cherish it. You know, but yeah, we standing out there trying to dodge the rain. We in paradise, man. And I just building with them, letting them know, like, man, I remember when y'all first came through the door. You know, y'all was green, and now y'all are watching other people come in the door. In that class, that was Big Ren knew the whole resort. Goddamn me, co-MVP. We had 2 MVP. Big Ren, co-sided Ren out of Omaha, Nebraska. And Morton, goddamn Morty Moore out of Dallas, Texas. Oak Cliff, nigga, straight Texas, nigga. Don't give a damn, don't give a fuck. Yeah, we had them niggas there. Professor Sick had my back though, man. Yeah, me and Sick ended up going to dinner. I'm walking, bumping into Sick. Shit, I'm finna walk down here and get something to eat. He took a nap and woke up. I'm headed to the kitchen, and you know we ended up sitting down having dinner, man. But you know, it was a lot of people I wanted to see. But man, it happened in time. It's gonna be a time that all of us can be there, man. You know, I wanted my nigga Talik down there with me. Don't worry about it, man. We ain't done. We ain't done. Just with all of these recent passes, it just made me like, damn. One thing we ain't promised is time, homie, and you can't buy it, you can't get it back. You know, so all them type of things went through my head, man. You know, but at the end of the day, I feel like it was the ancestors, because what if we would have had the whole squad? And we had 10 people that paid, right? We had 10 people paid. And me, maybe I was trying to bite off a little more than I could chew, but it was some people that you know, the possibility of being there, and I wanted them to be there, so broke my own rule, man. I gave a fuck. They already tell me, Chief set a date, that's the date. If they can't make it, they not meant to make it. It's nothing bad, but it's just timing and alignment. You know what I'm saying? Those who do follow in alignment, let's go with it, and we're going to have a great time. And, you know, I broke my own rule, but at the same time, everybody would have been out there, and I would have been here dealing with, you know, these funeral arrangements and, you know, grieving family and things of this nature. So, shout out to the ancestors, man. You know, they know best. And, you know, I make it up. You feel me? That part, gang shit. Nah, I ain't in Mexico, man. I'm at the high, but we do got Jaguars in Mexico right now. Then they got the nerve to post phone parties. We know y'all having fun. They out there drinking mixed margaritas and out there at phone parties and shit like that. Man, turn up. Yeah. Stop the flame.
From the bum, big girl, you want, I bet your ass be on the floor. Big carbon here like Mayweather. Tula come through with bubble. Got millions out that rap shit. They hate a bitch, but they stole the flow. Back in, after back in, coming. My stole the show. Done run up on that bitch, she a head case. All she do is shoot. I signed my deal up on the PJ and hopped out in parachute. I'm geeked on next week, got no more beaches. I might just search you. I'm geeked on next week, got no more beaches. I might get parachute. Stomp a little pussy, the whole piece of shell. Rap bitches and make it bell, ho.
Y'all ready to turn up?
Yeah, match the nails, ho. No competition, these bitches. Gucci, he gon' take her whatever she want. She piss me off, so I should stick it whatever she want. Talking about a nigga from the Nilla as a home. Hit it in the shop, made her tell me what she want. Like I'm singing miss, I made her tell me what she want.
Yeah, Rick.
She on a power trip again. I know power got me buying again.
Yeah.
Friends ain't jacking me, you must be lying to your friends. They know I'm a beast, I wake the giants up again. Shining once again. Ran it up, I told her mama, shot in my DMs. Right back in. Locked in. Shawty got that message for the block, it's hot again.
Shout out to Mary Jane and the Cash App. We just got started, and she went and got a membership. And she big Indian stepping. She got them big Indian steppers on her toes, man. Head to toe, man. Yeah, PD cap and all. Indian.
Think so when I hit it, sound like fuck a ad-lib. Got her ass again. Then she got it tripping off another yet again. Got a nigga feeling like a sucker yet again. Close on my emotion, then I rush and let her in. Hurry up and let her in. I'ma take a bougie ass to Rodeo and then let her pick up whatever she want. Stacy Gucci, he gon' take her whatever she want. She pissed me off, so I should still get whatever she want. Talking about a nigga from the Nilla as a home. Hit it in the shop, made her tell me what she want. Like I'm singing mix, I made her tell me what she want.
Right.
Spoil them up.
Whole lot of Indian.
Whatever she like.
Yeah,
Take all the girl to the world, this shit live. Take a city clipping. Doing shit wild. She done lose her attitude, she on the way from. Hey.
One time for the one time, nigga, Big Chief in the motherfucking varsity. Hey, don't worry about it, man. A lot of people finna be surprised, man. We've been getting up. It's been like one of the toughest years, man. But it been looking easy. Nigga been getting that work off and walking through the game. But I'm just really seeing what the game needs, what it's missing, what we can add. Shout out to Geechee Slow Meezy, a new content creator. Geechee, bro. I'm not just saying this, fam. Keep that shit going, bro. Keep it going. Geechee, I'm not just saying this. Jaguar Pow, man, change your name back to Soul Food Vegan so everybody can know who you is in the chat, man. Yeah, man, that's Talik down there, man. Change your name, goddamn, the Soul Food Vegan, the BCU Jaguar Pow or something, so they can know who you is. You be in the building, they don't even be knowing who you is. Yeah, man, go on, put them in there, man. Geechee, I just had a memory with a picture of me, Geechee, and Talik at Soul Food Restaurant in Houston, man. Type shit. We gonna get into a good build now. Geechee, gang, keep them videos going. Then he got that Savannah accent on there with him, and he dropping that drop, man. Keep that shit going. I'm telling you, it's gonna take off for him. Man, a lot of people respect what we doing, man. And some people knew, some people didn't, but those who did and didn't say nothing, man, they starting to say something now. So we getting our feathers, you feel me? And they like, damn, they be like, hey, damn, it's a lot of y'all. Usually they call me BCU. Now they gotta say Topcatz, because they saying, shit, it's a lot of BCU. One of them BCUs, I just seen him some BCU. And so, yeah, I'm hearing that a whole lot, man. So, man, y'all keep pushing that line, man. Turn up.
It's not enough.
Whoa.
Few solid niggas left, but it's not enough. Few bitches that are really stepped, but it's not enough. Say you bigger than myself, but it's not enough.
Hey.
Somebody gotta do it.
Somebody going, what up, though? DC.
Watch a nigga do it.
Watch DC
from the music, nigga. They like,
what are y'all?
This is Alpha and Omega, bitch. Welcome home. This is not a song. This is a revelation. How to get a nigga gone. I need you a man, baby. I don't understand, baby. Pay your bill and make you feel protected like I can, baby. Teach you something that need correction. That's the plan, baby. Don't put your life in these weird niggas' hands, baby. It's not enough. Few solid niggas left, but it's not enough. Few bitches that are really stepped, but it's not enough. Say you bigger than myself, but it's not enough. I get on their head. Somebody gotta do it. I made them niggas mad.
Hey, y'all, let's get them likes up. Let's share the video. Don't forget to hype it after the video. Share the video to your social media handles. Let work.
Hey, somebody gotta do it. I tell the G pad here. Watch a nigga do it. Turn the TV off. Ain't with my type activities, and don't you get involved. Hey, what? How many shit I seen? Send them off. Take a risk or take a trip. You know I'm tripping for my dog. This revolution been televised. I fell through with the knickknacks. Hey, yo, nigga, get your chili up. Yeah, I admit that. Hey, black out. If they act out, get that. Hey, what's up, though? I hate a bitch that's hating on the bitch and they both hoes. I hate a nigga hating on them niggas and they both broke. If you ain't coming for no chili, what you come for? Nigga feel like he entitled cause he really got a big mouth, but he lack big ideas. Send him to the moon, that is how I feel. It's not enough. Few solid niggas left, but it's not enough. Few bitches that are really stepped, but it's not enough. Say you bigger than myself, but it's not enough. Are we really sure that our love that lasted for so long still endure? Do I really care? Hey, let's talk about the distractions going on elsewhere.
I say Indian gang, don't bang. All right, let's get to it, man. Shout out to the homie. Say got 2 more locations coming, man. if you still in here, Talik, you want to come up and let them build on what you got going on. Let them know what's going on. Or shit, we can do it in person. T the T-shirt guy, what's up? King Curry in the building. I see Michelle Joyner, BD in the building. P, my nigga from Brooklyn, what up though? New York, big city of dream. I got my LA fitted on shit. I'm doing my thing. Fucking with BCU, you know the drama they bring. They got any born that road ready to shoot through your spleen. Yeah. It ain't just one, it's the whole team. And Cash rule everything around me. I ain't seen you in a while, but I'm the same OG. They say you got a crowd before you walk, you got a moment before you talk. If you play with BCU, then you outline with chalk. Anything in the dark, bring it to the light, is out. Step on a nigga face, show a nigga how we walk. That's just what we talk. Got it out the house. These niggas reading books. We getting it from the mouth, the ancestors. They niggas playing a game, they become an ancestor. Cause we really steppers. Yeah, we really rappers. Front liners. Banging nigga game up and going through the time, cause on some real nigga shit. They say, yeah, I ain't know you can rap. I'm just on some real nigga spit. We don't do no snaking. Biggie in there bitty, we don't do no faking. Souls who we taking, we creeping niggas on. They say it's up, what we looking for. They say it's up, well nigga, we the story. Power in the glory, fade a nigga like Ori. They ain't really seeing nothing, shining like Ori. In the sky so high, put some smoke in the sky, blowing on the Cuban tobaccos and you high. Nah, fuck that. I'm fucking with rich. We on some rich nigga shit. Let go. Turn up. All right, this how we coming, man. We gonna get into the build. Man, I got a lecture coming. I ain't gonna rush myself on it. But I might have to turn it into a series, man. Cause I say, man, I can do 250 shots for this new lecture, but I'm already in the threes, so I said I might have to break it down. Cause we going scorch earth. Now I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I do want to have an event, but I don't know if we're gonna wait till BCU homecoming. We may have to wait till BCU homecoming. You feel me? So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. You feel me? Paul, what up, though? Virginia, the PA in the building, Texas Triangle, man. Put it in their face, let them know. Hey, check me out, gang. Appreciate all of the love. Let's see. I'm gonna drop the link in the pin, the link at the top. Let's see if we can get 20 orders for the day over with. Homie say, no subscriber, Dane brought me over. Side Dane, that's my motherfucking brother. In a real end-zone way. Get on one of you niggas' ass, fuck with my brother. Type shit. Big Indian, Mount Rushmore's. Yeah, when we gone, they still gonna sing that song, man. They some bad motherfuckers, boy. And to get some bad motherfuckers in the same eras. Nah, man. Say, now we on top of the world. Top of the world. All right, let's get this down and get into the information.
Big Chief Topcatz. And although Mike Lane and I did have come to some differences, what have you, we are honored to have you, man. How you doing?
Chase, what's up with it, OG?
Man, we are honored to have you. You got so many fans here, man. You got fans all over the world.
Turn up, man. I'm humble. I'm blessed. All praise to the ancestors.
All praises to the ancestors. Hey, look, I really didn't know how to prepare because I wanted to be fair. I am a journalist, but I'm a student too, and I'm open to learn. I only watched the opening just to get a sense of you and Jabari.
Okay.
So I only watched the first 20 minutes or so. And what I don't think he gave you was a fair chance. Because if I'm going to prove to you that Afrocentrism is the core, and I bring to you somebody else's notes, somebody else's book, then I really haven't proven anything. I've just brought you some references.
Right.
On the other side, from an indigenous perspective, that seems to be the strength is the oral tradition. I agree, the oral tradition is very strong. That's how we know what we know. But that's where I don't think he gave you a fair chance to listen and understand that there could be a different way. I'm open to it. Who can prove who was where? Maybe it did start here in Africa. I mean, in America.
Yeah. Well, that debate right there, believe it or not, I was a rookie. That was my rookie year. They brought me in to basically lose. You know, I'm a big boxing fan. That's why I had transitioned from the boxing where I'm over here. So psychological warfare and, you know, setting up and understanding opponents' strengths and weaknesses. I know that's why my first round, when he went, it was basically like I already knew his playbook. But I actually got the credit for winning. So on the polls, I won on both polls, and they replayed it this year, and I won by even larger margin. So yeah, I knocked out a champion in my rookie year. Yeah.
How did you? Was you said it was your grandma who gave you the stories?
Hey, hold on, y'all. I want to say something to that. Man, it's like this debate happened years ago, man, and it's like it just will not go away. So you know, the Indians was blowing me up the other day, right? Hey, man, Jabari, you know, you're talking crazy, and it's, you know what I'm saying. No matter what Jabari do, his name always gonna be tied to that debate. No matter how many other debates he have, no matter how big he get, he's gonna always that debate. That shit was like Frazier Ali. That was like Sonny Liston. That was like Joe Louis against. Now, man, listen, man. Rumble in the jungle, man, and that's really what it was. Rumble in the jungle, and I you know, I nicknamed it debate of the decade, and Jabari brought it up. If he didn't think it was so important, he wouldn't call it debate of the decade. I mean, I was just talking shit. We finna fight, yeah, I'm popping it. But man, it really actually turned into that. It actually turned into that.
From people who are part of the
so they're gonna bring it up here.
Yeah. And they tried to cite those things. Reason they would hide something like that. Let's be very clear. To argue that Kemet was someplace other than in what we would today call Northeast Africa is a little bizarre. The reality is that as someone who has made 24 trips to the region and taken more than 4,000 people there,
but I know y'all hold it down.
You should understand that with all of that material culture, how in the world would it be elsewhere? How could you even argue that? Africa is the oldest home of humanity on the planet. We should expect to see humans doing things in antiquity and excellence there. For 90,000 years, the only humans on the planet were Africans. And I'm being conservative. For 90,000 years, the only modern humans on the planet were Africans. Why should it be in the United States? Why? So anyway, that's the importance of this story. And I think that we should not be gullible. If they're there, show them to me.
Gullible.
What's the evidence? What's the proof? We should believe things when we have evidence and proof.
All right, brother. All right. Let's get to the next. Somebody asks, what about the Racial Integrity Act and Walter Plicker?
He means Walter Plucker, by the way.
Plucker, yeah.
By the way, those questions usually come from people who are part of the Aboriginal community.
Yeah.
And they try to cite those things as reasons why the United States took away the truth of people that we call Black today being Native Americans. And the first thing I have to say to you, both the Racial Integrity Act and Walter Plucker only worked in Virginia. That's in one state. For you to argue that the laws of one state actually impact every Black person in the entire United States, that doesn't make sense. And the Racial Integrity Act was from 1924. We have literally millions of pieces of evidence that describe Africans being brought here.
Man, I can't find that time.
So I think that when people make those points, I think they need to recognize that they don't really, they're not as strong as they may think they are. The Racial Integrity Act was an act in Virginia in 1924, and Walter Plucker was also a Virginian elected official in that area. Doesn't affect the rest of the states. So why are you saying that it affected all Black people? Were all Black people in Virginia? How does that work? So, Benta Black Jaguar says, where was that as evidence in your debate with Topcatz? The reality is, if you didn't hear me cite that evidence, you weren't listening.
Well, I guess none of us was listening. I don't even think you was listening to, bro. I don't think you was woke. I don't even think you was woke doing that. I think you slept the whole, every round. I think I hit you with some shit in the third round and put you out, and we didn't even know you was incompetent for the rest of the fight. But yeah, they giving it to him. He do not, and let me tell y'all something. He do not like that. He will argue any of that. He want a revenge with Tahuti. Because some of them said Tahuti might have beat him, but nobody just really never whooped him. And he was able to walk away and say, yeah, I whooped that nigga. And you got so many Pan-Africans and so many people that's, subscribers to his teaching. A lot of them, they don't want to see him lose. Like, since Polite, he was the face of HOK. He was him. And I give him his credit. He'll get out there with anybody. But boy, you bring up Topcatz, that's gonna ruffle his feathers because I took his soul that night. Beat him into submission. I took his soul that night. That was not supposed to happen. Not the rooms he been in. Not the journey he taken. You know what I'm saying? Not all of the years, and you know what I'm saying. The time him taking so many people actually. Inheriting paradigm that had giants that came before him, and he was one of the people that sat at the table that was in charge of defending this and keeping it going and expanding it. And he ran into a motherfucking Indian and took it all away from him.
Because I use a lot of evidence in my debate with Topcatz, and that's the reason why Topcatz actually was. I don't even know if I can say he was defeated. There was barely even a discussion because he wasn't talking about the topic.
Nah, you can't say.
In neither of those discussions.
So basically, you just admitted that I didn't lose. I can't even say he was defeated. No, you can't say no shit like that, nigga. You didn't even scratch me. You ain't even pinch me. Fam, I took off on you and there was nothing you said call authority. If you don't get the authority in here, all you bitches fired. And they said you will be playing basketball in Pelican Bay. Shoe program, nigga.
Questions I've had with him, he wasn't really talking about the topic. And I kept saying it to him.
One of the things you got to do, Brother Rich, is when people come up here and they start talking. See, I notice a lot of times that they don't deal with sources a lot. Do y'all deal with sources, Rich?
Maybe not the sources you deal with, but yeah, people.
No, sources is sources, brother. What do you mean? If I'm making a statement and we got to show a source, it's the same source you probably would show if you're trying to prove your point.
Right.
So
Well,
that's
he's
like
just
saying,
asking the question. You know, he's just
Yeah.
letting the person get their question in. But
you gotta
yeah, I
be
would
able
love
to
that
show
person to
real
show some
sources,
sources.
brother. You got to show sources to prove your point.
Right.
So we
Yeah.
can source up or shut up. If you can't source it, then just shut up, man. That's all we saying. Source up or shut up.
Indeed. You know, Topcatz got a lot of sources.
Man, listen. Why you think Rich saying right? Why you think Rich saying right? Like, I feel you, I hear you. Rich said it out his own mouth, man. Sarnetta dropped the gem, not understanding. I didn't need the Sarnetta play. I just needed it to go kick ass to show we not scared to come to y'all turf. I mean, we got some Indians out here who front lining, who ready to rock out, who own it, and can't be fucked with. And many time after time, it proved Sarnetta screaming to the chat, "Oh, y'all scared of this nigga?" And yeah, all of that. But man, Rich called me, and when he want the big guns to get pulled out. When he want the big guns to get pulled out, because he already know, nigga, I'm finna take you through there. He said, man, Topcatz got source. I don't know what y'all talking about. What he gave me, what award I got, the best, what was it? I ended up getting the best, damn, it escaped my mind. But yeah, hey, best debut, my bad. Best debut on the channel. So all that Topcatz ain't got no sources shit. Topcatz, sourced up. Stay ready.
Jabari got a lot of sources, but they still clash. You can have sources and still.
Nah, you may think they sources, Rich. Rich, you may think they sources, Rich. But when you really look, they are not sources, brother.
Listen, Topcatz will mention the Racial Integrity Act as well, and I'll say,
"Hey, go on, fam. I don't even do. Listen, man, this is my game. Like my cousin Junior always say, man, I took something from it, man. Put some paint where it ain't. If somebody over there mopping, I'm not finna go mop. Give me a broom, let me sweep. You feel me? If somebody working on the gate, man, let me go work on the roof. Like, I'm not finna stay in the spot. If that's already been taken care of, then there's no need for me to be over there dealing in that department. So that's not my game. I ain't brought up no racial integrity. That's why you don't know what to do with me. Cause the shit that you study, I'm almost fam. You come over here, you gonna get a PhD, nigga, in American history. Period. Point blank.
Topcatz, that was only in Virginia.
Right.
That was only in Virginia. How many states were there in that were part of the United States in 1924? How many?
How many you tell me? I don't know.
He over there talking about Topcatz.
No, I'm not even sure if I know the number, but I'm sure it was in the 40s.
He's talking to me.
Right?
Topcatz.
Are you telling me that something occurred in Virginia affected Black people everywhere? I have a very long history of my family in North Carolina. Why would that affect them? Why would that affect them? Why would one law in one state affect every Black person on the planet? 1924 is not that long ago. I know relatives that were born before 1924. They're all past. But I certainly I was very close to my great aunt. She was born in 1908, I believe. I knew people. Maybe I'm old now. Some of you might be younger than me. But I would tell you that I knew family members that were born before then. So what happened? If they were changed from Native Americans to Black or Negro, are you saying that she wouldn't say, hey, something happened in 1920s? I mean, it's not an argument that makes sense. So that's not a source. By the way, with regard to Topcatz, he's one of those people I read his sources better than he does.
Well, you were screenshotting them. I was inviting you to. I said, nigga, screenshot this. You want to screenshot some shit. Jabari, you did no counter punching. You never used my source and used it against me. You misspoke. I corrected you a few times. bro, I made him. I handled you like a little boy. And in fact, you on the world tour trying to clear up your name because you just got shined on by WAG 100 and them and 601. So you just got shined on, and you out here trying to do a press tour, a PR tour to clear your name up, and you can't even sit through an interview without them bringing up you taking the ass, get me whooping on your ass. So now it's about me. And they worked him in the chat. I got so many calls. Hey, Cito hit me like, hey, Chief, man, you see this bitch ass nigga all the time. I'm like, yeah, man, that's your boy, man. He can't get away. Like, man, bro, you single-handedly crushed him. Walk through them. Man, this shit look pitiful. That nigga out there trying to explain himself, man, as long as he been doing this shit. And long as he continue to go on platforms and get microphones and try to, talk that tough Tony bad Mayweather shit, they always gonna be reminded with the fact that when Topcatz got on his ass.
I go, is that what the source says, Topcatz? Let's read it here. I have destroyed him on his own sources many, many times. So, that's the reality. When you use your sources, it should be clear about what argument you're trying to make. By the way, Julian BR says Virginia was important enough to put a capital there. What capital of the United States is in Virginia?
Really?
Was Virginia ever the capital of the United States? You're talking to a historian.
Probably talking about the Confederate though, which wouldn't be a part of the United States, but I mean, put a combination behind it, bring the right hand, and look for him to throw. You gotta back him up.
The answer is no. The answer is, by the way, New York was a capital.
Yeah,
New York was the capital.
After Philadelphia.
Was there ever a capital in Virginia of the United States? The answer is no.
The Confederate.
So if you're trying to argue that the Racial Integrity Act or any of those other things you're mentioning are important, I don't know history. Right, okay. I'm the guy that teaches history.
Yeah, well, you can teach history and still not know it. There's a lot of history teachers.
Oh, good one, Rich said you can teach history and still not know it. You could have been indoctrinated and pushed the indoctrination today, yes.
Don't know history and teach it. That's not
sure. I'm not doubting that, but I'm saying, who would you listen to? Someone who teaches history on the college level, or someone who didn't recognize that the Racial Integrity Act was only in Virginia?
College never impressed me. That's why I dropped out and I decided to work for myself. So you can't pull the college thing on me. It doesn't impress me at all.
I'm not pulling it on you, brother.
Ooh. Hey, y'all. Hey, drop some flames. Oh, my mama. Feather say, nice jab. Oh, my mama. I didn't see this part. I was in the middle of something when I seen it. I just heard the part where somebody say Topcatz put BTA on. That's the only part I seen. Say, Rich said that all this smart shit, that's how I feel. Man, the smarter you try to make me think you are, the more I know you don't know. You trying to bluff me. Pull out, pill out, big muscles, swole, and all that thinking size don't matter. You in there with somebody who really, that shit don't mean nothing to me, nigga. I'm hitting hard in the summer. Rich said that shit don't impress me, nigga, at all, nigga.
Well, you said it. Who would you listen to? A college professor? That doesn't impress me. A degree doesn't impress me. A doctor before your name, none of that impresses me. So
I would
you're asking the wrong person if you're gonna ask about a college professor.
I would argue when I say you, by the way, I wasn't meaning you, Rich.
I'm just answering I don't.
Well, let's be clear. College, there's something that happens in college.
Indoctrination. Who wrote that book?
Indoctrination. Rich, I didn't know Rich. Man, why y'all ain't tell me Rich and Jabbar? Jabbar had a bad week. Why y'all ain't tell? What the hell? Man, y'all ain't tell me Jabbar and Rich put the gloves on. Oh, y'all wrong for that, man. Y'all ain't tell me Jabbar and Rich had a scuffle. Jabbar had a bad week. Shit. That nigga on YouTube, boy. I ain't gonna lie. Say, boy, he looking like Boost Ennis on your ass, boy.
Stolen Legacy. What he said about
listen, brother. Yeah, the person that wrote Soul Legacy had a doctorate.
I know, and so he would know best. He would know best.
George James. George James was the one.
George,
well, let's be clear.
What did he say about school? What did he say about it?
You're not talking about Stolen Legacy. I think you're talking about Carter G. Woodson, who also had a doctorate, by the way.
Carter G. Woodson, right. That was
what did he say?
A doctorate from Harvard.
Yeah, but what
from
did
Harvard?
he
He had a doctorate.
What book Carter G. Woodson wrote, y'all?
The Miseducation of the Negro.
The Miseducation, yeah. Damn, I haven't read that in a while. Wow.
But he's not.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I remember back in, I ain't gonna say nothing, but yeah, I used to be in these book clubs, man, and man, I had about like 10 of those books, and I used to pass them out. I only had one for myself, but I used to pass them out, indoctrinating the shit out of niggas. But I had all the books, you know, like on how you learn it. Ice Cube on how you learn it. So people would always come borrow my books, so I get more than one. And yeah, niggas don't give books back, so I stopped getting my books. Stop letting people borrow my book.
Suggesting you don't go to school.
No, he was just talking about the indoctrination. He was talking about.
Sure, it happens. It can happen. Sure. I have a degree in Africana Studies. I wasn't, you know, you know what I mean? Listen, when you talk about Dr. Clark and Dr. Ben, guess who was teaching me at Cornell? Dr. Clark and Dr. Ben and others. And
that's what I always do, bro. What Terrence Crawford say? Terrence Crawford say he boxed Canelo. Canelo boxed a lot of the greats, a lot of the people that he didn't get a chance. It wasn't his era. So he wanted to knock out him. So that's what I did with Jabbar. Yeah, and a few other ones. Cassetti, Reggie, the list goes on. Line them up, knock them down.
To be clear that I'm not saying that just because you have a degree, that means you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you
but
is.
I am saying that you should still have respect for the ability to get a degree and what has to come with it. And if we don't have that belief, then when you have a toothache, just go to the dude on the corner. Don't go to the dentist. You know what I mean?
Rich, real quick, Rich. Yeah, don't say that no more, Rich. Please, man.
About school? About college?
Yeah, because you know you got little kids listening to you. We need all our children to go through college, to go to school, to become doctors.
No.
Hold up, but don't let them. No. I feel.
I am, because this is my channel, so I'm gonna say.
No, I know that. I'm saying you got to understand. You got a lot of kids listening to you, brother.
Right, and I'm gonna tell them.
And black children are the lowest when it comes to education. Chinese children, they are so much passing our children.
Black women have the most degrees more than anybody, and it's not helping them. Matter of fact, most of them just got fired off.
Yeah, that's not true, brother Rich. That's
what they say. They get a lot of degrees.
Have more degrees than anyone else.
They got a high percentage of degrees. Now that's debatable, but they have a high percentage of degrees. They're very well educated black women, highly educated.
There are many.
Now they have a lot of melanated immigrants who are also put in those stats as well, and that's something Jabari know. But Rich is totally correct on that.
Black women who have high levels of education,
yes,
but they don't have per capita the largest number of college degrees. But I'm not suggesting to you that simply because you have a college degree that means you know what the hell you're talking about. I'm not saying that, but I am saying that when you're talking about history, you should talk to someone who has studied history for decades. That's what I'm saying.
I agree with that. Yeah, I do agree with that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not just talking about a college degree. I'm talking about someone who studies history. I have studied history. How many of you are older than 40? Because if you're younger than 40, I've been studying history longer than you're alive. And I'm not just saying, you know, whatever I mean, the book is good. That's not how I get.
And they watch you go to sleep.
Right.
But you have to be able to understand what you're reading. And does that mean that if you actually learn it in college, it must be true? I'm not saying that either. College is supposed to teach you how to understand what is true, not what is true. That's what college is really supposed to do.
Yo, they must be don't know me, Rich, over here. A lot of them, they said we F with Brother Rich. I've been effing with Brother Rich way before all of y'all, and still do right now to this day. The hell are y'all talking about?
I mean, listen, Sonetta has known Rich forever, and I respect Brother Rich. I love the stuff that he does. That's why we're here.
Yes, hell yeah.
That's a solid brother right there.
Man, I don't know what y'all talking about.
Hey, y'all tap the like button. Make sure the likes up.
Yeah,
that's a solid brother right there.
Me and Rich never had a fight. We never had an argument all the time. I mean, I met Rich when he was a goddamn teenager, bro, going to school, man. Yeah. You know, I met him. I think I seen his uncle one time.
Yep.
You know, come on, man, y'all bugging, y'all wilding out right now.
What cracking with
Rich, my man, right now, for real.
Now, am I saying that in order to do anything you have to go to college? No, I'm not saying that either. So Rich he dropped out of college and started a business. By the way, notice he dropped out of college. That likely also means that he was intelligent enough to get into college. Don't listen. You have to listen to what he said very carefully, right? You
should have got that degree, Rich, and then you could break out. But at least you got that on your back, though. You know, that's what I'm saying. You ain't got to believe in all of that, but it would have been good.
That's an intelligent young man right there. Nobody's questioning his intelligence.
You know, get what you got to get, and then get up out of here. So what? Long as you got it, you prove to the white man that you can beat him in his own game.
Well, we also have to recognize that there's some things you can't do without particular sets of degrees, right? There's some things you can't do. To make sure that we do everything. Does that mean that everyone has to go to college? No, we need plumbers, we need electricians, we need carpenters, we need those people badly. But to say that no one should get a degree, what are you saying? That means that you don't want any black doctors?
Yeah,
when you have problems with your lady, you don't want to have a therapist that has the highest level of education, has seen a bunch of stuff, has experience covering things. There's some things you can't do if you don't get degrees.
Now, Jabbar, I don't think he's saying that. I don't think none of us, but historical. You were speaking on historical, and there's other areas as well, but particularly on this point, to keep it in context, it was based off his. You were saying a nigga got degrees on teaching history, and you know, and that's what he's speaking about, the indoctrination coming from. All the other things, that's for sure. You feel me? But as far as the history, no, we do not need college for history for niggas to pay a nigga to tell you a lie.
We want people that do those things too.
Indeed. Let's get to another question. Let's see what's going on. Y'all got the chat moving. I know that. Y'all got this chat moving tonight.
Hey, on your boy.
There's more comments than questions here.
I love the King Simon too. My man King Simon, man. Hard-working man in the conscious community, man.
Shout out King Simon. I gotta say,
somebody asks who was here before the Siberians crossed the Bering Strait?
Who was here before those people that we call Native Americans actually got here, is what you're saying. I don't believe that there were people
Rick,
before they got here. Now, I want to be clear. When you say Siberian,
nobody was here?
No.
You just said the Earth was millions of years old.
Yeah, but the reality is,
shit!
It was hard for. Now listen, the Earth is millions of years old, but modern humans are only 300,000 years old, right?
That's right. That's...
So, and I'm being generous. 300,000 to 200,000 years old. That's how old modern people like us are. That's how old 300,000 to 200,000 years old.
So it might be time to go.
When we came into existence,
Pull up a source, Rich.
Listen, when we came, I teach African history from human origins to 1600 CE.
Man,
so this is something that I've studied extensively. But you should, it's one of the classes I teach. But you should know that when modern humans came into existence, it was very difficult to make the journey from Africa, from other places, to what we would call North America, just because of where the ice patches were, the animals that we were chasing. Because remember, for a long period of time, we weren't cultivating food. We were just exploiting things that were in nature.
Come on, man.
And so it was hard to get here.
But hold on.
This is why Rich is sitting back like, I told you, this is why you do not need to listen to niggas just because they have a degree. You will become indoctrinated. You're telling a story that doesn't even make sense, logical sense to adults. It don't make sense to adults. And this is the part what he was saying, not about the doctors, lawyers, and other fields.
Hold on, Jabari. Rich, I wish you can let some of the brothers up that say lies, just so we can expose them.
No, I gotta go soon. I can't do that.
When they say lies, that's not true. Sometimes you should let them up and bring their source so we can expose them that they don't know what they're talking
about. This conversation makes me very interested to see what Jabari has to say this Saturday on the debate. So I will say that I think Jabari is a very intellectual brother, but I do think intellect could slow us down from finding out who we are sometime because of the indoctrination. So I'm very much interested. Sometimes you have more of an open mind about certain things, and sometimes you have a bias when you if I'm a doctor and I find out information that's outside of what I spent $200,000. I spent $200,000 on this doctorate. That information that comes outside, I might be biased toward that because I'm so invested into this right here. My whole life, my family, everything is invested in this right here. So when you come with research outside there, I might not even consider it, and I might develop cognitive dissonance. So that's my only thing about, that whole situation.
I would argue to you that if that research.
Hey, hold on, y'all. I want to make sure y'all caught what he was saying, what he putting down. And I'm seeing the flames down there, and I'm seeing. He say Cito say we finally waking up. Cito say we finally waking up. 305 say struggling nerd. Listen, when he told him that, because like Rich. They said it on the show before. Man, shout out to Topcatz, man. He one of the brothers helping us find our way to the indigenous side. He done said it a few times. I wasn't even worried about that. He said, I've been hearing a lot of it. And then Topcatz coming through, breaking it down, making us want to explore our indigenous side and our roots and our story here. So all of this is documented. So I feel like that's where it came from. Not saying, okay, boom, I done studied out Topcatz work, but there are people out there who are making sense because you got a lot of respect for Dane too. Me and Dane went over there. Yeah. So it's like we've heard y'all side and heard it for years. And then there's a whole new paradigm sweeping the nation right now. And these guys have some hell of a points. Not only that, but we've actually found ourselves in the story here in America. And the story that we found is not what y'all taught us. If we would have listened to what y'all taught us, we would have never knew about this. And it's about us. And so it's really important, you know what I'm saying? Because he went to the body. Stiff jab to the body. Beautiful. Beautiful shot. And Jabari understands that because they feel, you know what I'm saying, like you said, you could be biased. You learned something for this long, and then now something else comes along. You can be biased to it, which is correct because this is what you built your life off of. This is what you teach on. Let's say these other facts come out, and now it's taking, your job away. There's no need for you. That's why they defunded African studies, African American studies, so on and so forth. That's why they defunded them. They're no longer needed. And now this other paradigm is starting to come, and we gotta watch a motherfucker trying to infiltrate and, you know, come and try to put their spin on it. But nah, beautiful work, Rich. Goddamn it, Rich ain't just no interviewer. Rich putting that logic on him. Now Jabari, go on, fight your way up out of it.
Is out there. It's people who actually have college degrees, have advanced education that see it first.
Said, man.
Because the research is done by people that have advanced degrees. That's how the research is done. When you're doing an archaeological dig, the people in the archaeological dig usually have doctorates in archaeology, in anthropology. So those conversations actually are more accessible to people who are in scholarly areas than outside. That's just the reality. You know, today we know that every person on the planet is related to one woman, right? Sometimes she's called the mitochondrial Eve, right? Mm-hmm. That paper was released a year and a half before it hit Newsweek magazine. Mm-hmm. So what I'm trying to say to you is people who actually were in the field were already thumbing through, arguing, manipulating the data to say, well, does this make sense? Before it was ever released to the public. College doesn't tell you, it should not tell you what to believe. It should tell you how to know what to believe. That's what college is about.
That's a good point, Jabari. And
how do you tell what a source is? I have college students. I teach at the university level. How do you know what's real? What is a source? What's verifiable? That's what your education should tell you.
Indeed. Once again, family, this Saturday, 4 p.m., Jabari is going up against Brother Reggie.
And there were people saying,
any last words for the people before we get out of here?
Come to the debate. The debate online. Hit that link. Y'all gonna love it. I'm telling you, it's gonna be on and popping. Hit that link.
Yeah, it's gonna be Yeah, I mean, you can get them. People are bringing them here, but that one I got when I don't think I've ever gotten one.
Don't believe that, Rich. You got it from the Chinese man.
Oh man!
I bought some rib.
All right, man. Oh, Jabari, man. Got in there and danced with that goddamn wild East Texas Indian. And he ain't been right ever since. Nah, it actually was my aunt who started me off. And hey, y'all, before we get started, the wellness cleanse is pinned at the top. We got 20 left. Don't get these last little 20 off me. We got 20 left. Don't get these last little 20s off me, man. Let's make sure them hoes gone for the show over with. I always play video clips of her, you know, teaching me how to do my genealogy and she also saying that she was 17. So if you would have watched, I guess after we do the interview, you can go back and watch the whole video. So it's supporting there where Shanetta asks, how do you know that you're Indian and not African? And so I don't want to tell you. I let my aunt speak, and she said she was 17 years old when her grandmother made her go into the family cemetery, write down the names, and gave her the notes. She still had the notes today, and she's in her 70s. She almost 70 years old. And so this had been a tradition in the family. And she chose me, and it's a picture of my second great grandma that I always show. And my family she let me know that we were chiefs of the tribe, 1855. Our signature is on signing for the land here in Texas, on the oldest reservation in Texas. So me knowing that, you know, that's why I teach foundation. Start at the beginning. Who are you? Let's take away the history and become my historians, because we've been taught world history. Someone told us we had hidden history, unknown history, but 95% of the people you ask if they have an Indian grandparent or if they had these stories in the home, they will say yes. And so once we leave outside the homes, And we had these great men like we spoke of earlier, Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, Asa Hill, I mean, Ivan Van Serk, the list goes on. And, you know, they wasn't saying these things. But today, we find out that Leonard Jeffries, his family was Powhatan. He said his mom used to ask him to speak about that information. We have Renoka Rashidi, who said he grew up Cherokee. His family told him he was Cherokee. When he got older, he got into the African paradigm. Kaba, Booker T. Coleman, his mom and dad's side. And so now we're hearing these, you know, master teachers speak about it, but there was a time where they had us in a space of Afrocentrism as they were trying to, you know, build that paradigm up. And they actually did a good job, because it's not until now that we're breaking those curses.
One name that came up, and this one you really caught me leaning, the guy Herskovitz.
Okay.
That some of the original Afrocentrics were funded from outside of the community.
Right. So I mean, I don't know any who was funded inside. You know, if we go back to the Harlem Renaissance, whether it been Marcus Garvey, hold on, well, I can't show him here. But you know, Marcus Garvey, we had the Commandment Keepers at the time, you know, with the Hebrew Israelites started out from, which Garvey was a big, you know, influence in that. Where you had Rabbi Matthew, you had Josiah Ford, you had these people created the Commandment Keepers. Well, Garvey was from Jamaica, Rabbi Matthew was from St. Kitts. So a lot of these people came, Cecil, that ran the African Brotherhood, a lot of these people came from the islands and came in the Harlem Renaissance, giving us identities which we had already had. And so, that influence, in 1923, you have eugenics. They had a sister program funded by the NRC, and Franz Boas is going to get the funding. Well, he had a student, Melville Herskovitz, who was into, at the time, he was into going back to craniometrics and you know, wide nose, big lips. When we hear those, they come from Melville Herskovitz's work. And so he wanted to see what was the identity of the people here. So he had people like Zora Neale Hurston, who was another one of his students, him and Franz Boas at Columbia University, who took him to Harlem, and they went to schools there, and they measured children to see if they were, you know, Indian, Negro, Indian, white, or black. And he wanted to prove that. Now his record showed that that we were more African, because before I start this out, OG, we got to understand one thing, that there was never a person that looked like us that came to us first and told us that we were from Africa and had culture in Africa. This whole concept comes from Melville Herskovitz. Melville Herskovitz is the person that said that the Negroes in America do have a culture that cultures in Africa. So his life work was to create this paradigm of us being in Africa. There's no scholar ever, or historian, or speaker that ever came before Melville Herskovitz and told us that Africa was our culture. And so from there, we'll see him work down. He get African Studies. He's the founder of African Studies. Now, the sister company of African Studies is how we know John Henry Clark. Now, John Henry Clark come out of the Schomburgs. He was back then with Kwame Nkrumah, and those Africans were coming over back then to Harlem and places like this, going out churches and hey, y'all get on that light button, fam. What's up on the light? Kwame Nkrumah, he was taught by a guy that worked at in North Carolina for 40 years. His name escaped me right now, but it'll come to me. They were that was Anamabu, a government program that he came through, and he taught at Livingston College. But And
hey y'all, I'm
John Henry Clark and Linda Jeffries created a sister company to African Studies, and this is during the student movement. They said that people that they wanted to tell their own story, they didn't want YT people telling African stories, and so that's what they in 1969 in a newspaper article in New York Times. It's called "Back to Africa in Spirit," OG, and that is from Dr. John Henry Clark, who says he learned from Garvey and those before him who wanted to physically move the people through repatriation. We go back to the Sierra Leone Company, the ACS, American Colonization Society. Even when they didn't get business, they used Henry Highland Gardner to create the African Colonization Society. Same company, they just put a black face on it like African Studies did with Dr. John Henry Clark to make us accept it. Feel like our people can get us to accept it.
Peace.
So
Chad, peace to the
so we come up into 1860. He learned from Garvey and them who physically wanted to move us. He said he'll go back to African spirit, which means that you keep our bodies in America, but they wanted to take our minds psychologically and into Africa, and that's where they created the Afrocentrism paradigm. That was 1969.
So one of the things you mentioned, I heard the name come up, James Fortin.
Yeah, shout out James Fortin.
Now he had a son, James Fortin. He had a sail company, to my understanding, in Philadelphia. Right. He was not enslaved. He was a free man.
A great person. He was one of the. He was the richest.
The richest black man in Philadelphia.
Man. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Now James Fortin had a son. Now James Fortin was an American patriot, to my understanding.
Right.
His son wanted to go to Africa, and James Fortin said, "Hell no, we right here. This our land."
Okay, now, okay, you mean Paul Cuffey? Now they all ran in the same circle. Now Paul Cuffey have a son, Paul Cuffey Jr. His family was Wampanoag Indians, and so it was Paul Cuffey Jr. Same story though, richest man in his day. He come out of Cuddy Hunt. His real name is Captain Paul Slocum. They call him Paul Cuffey. They said his daddy came from Africa, but he going back and forth to Africa, driving boats, building boats, teaching people in Martha's Vineyard how to ship build. He was an excellent welder. I just came from Connecticut, the largest maritime museum in the world in the U.S. And you know, I got some good history over there. Also, I got the records of him from Martha's Vineyard as well. So, but yeah, you meant Paul Cuffey. Now, James Fortin was also with them. Now, the things you said, he was wealthy. He did have a lot of money inside of Philadelphia. And he had two daughters, Harriet and what was the other one named? Because they ended up going down south to teach in the Penn School in the Port Royal expedition in 1865 after the Civil War, after they occupied the lands in the Sea Islands of South Carolina. Yeah, his daughters went down there.
So
Harriet,
I want to understand
Harriet.
Your understanding of emigration.
Both of them bad.
So when we go and leave the U.S., like you said, we have gone to Nova Scotia. I think it was the Civil War, was it Revolutionary War? After the Revolutionary War, the British sent expatriates, black or melanated expatriates to Nova Scotia. And from there, they were sent to Liberia, to Sierra Leone. The thing that always got me about Liberia is why would a black man from America go there and start naming stuff George Washington and Thomas Jefferson? I will not claim to be the most scholarly, but that right there, it's like, why am I take that there?
Because it was colonies. It was all about commerce. So the whole story that we speak about this timeline, and especially when they put it at 1492, is all about commerce. So we see European commercial empires who are looking to established themselves in the colonies here.
Yeah.
And we'll see that in 1606 with the Virginia Company of London. Then we get the Plymouth Company, the Massachusetts Bay Company, things like this.
It's like British East India Company, similar thing.
Yeah, the British East Indian Company. First, it was the Dutch. The Dutch was
Dutch East India Company.
Yeah, it was the Dutch West Indies Company, and that was, they actually initiated the first domestic slave trade here with the Mohegans and the Mohawk Indians. 1836, William Keith was over the West Indies Company, serving as a governor. He chose to go to war, and he put the Indians against each other, the Mohawks against the Mohegans, and it was a big rebellion after that. They slaughtered a lot of people. So, but yeah, that was the beginning era. But it was something you said though, OG, in the beginning when you had started off. It was something you had said.
Well, let's see. The Pan-Africanism was interesting. Who we are, who other people have told us we are. We have the oral tradition to fall back on. I don't know, but I got a $1 trillion question for you.
Okay.
Did we have ships?
Yes. Like I said, I just left the largest maritime museum in the United States. And so they have old ships from back then that sailed the Atlantic all the way up to ships that fought in World War II. So any type of ship, yeah. So I just left a place in Connecticut, in New England. So I did a New England tour, Pennsylvania, Jersey, Connecticut, Boston, went up in areas like that and got a lot of their history that's not talked about. But that's where the maritime actually took place. So if we notice here, we have Bristol, Connecticut. Bristol is one of the largest ports that's going to take place in the transatlantic story. Now, we have Bristol, Connecticut here. We also have Bristol, Rhode Island, which sits off the Atlantic. These places will play more of they will have more, so they use the timber to ship build out of Connecticut. They got their timber out of Connecticut. But the ports that they used was the Bristol that came out of Rhode Island. Now you have Bristol in Europe, but they don't get their maritime in order coming down to the late 1800s, going into late 1800s, going into the 20th century. And so I just left Europe about 2 weeks ago, and these are things that I picked up out there. Not only that, but I spoke with David Elches, the guy that created slavevoyages.org, and he agreed that the fastest ship came out of New England.
Hey, I get the lights
maritime and shipbuilding in America
preceded
any other in the world, and that a lot of the manufacturers and warehouses actually did come up from the upper colonies, what we call today New England.
Going out.
So I guess my question, let me put it a different way. In the Americas, did we travel out? Because the story painted to us is that Africa came here from the West Africa into Brazil. You can coast into Brazil. Did we go out?
All right, so we'll start it like this here. Every story of every people we hear, when they say they're migrating, they're walking. I think that's really important. Whether it be from the Hebrews who said they walked out of Egypt. Now I ain't said tripping, but we just going. That's what the book say. The Native Americans say they walked across the ice bridge. Oh, gee, how did the Africans say that they left out of Africa?
Walk.
They walked. They walked around the whole planet, including large bodies of waters, But there was a people in the world who had a science of shipbuilding and maritime. They understood the seas, the currents, and the routes. The same routes that we use today, naval, military, cruise, are the same routes that they used from back in the day. After the fall of the Bronze Age and the opening of the Iron Age, a lot of that information went underground, and they created these secret orders to hide the information and the knowledge. Now, what is my proof that we went overseas? Well, Egypt itself was a colony of America. The gods of Egypt they served gods that came from Tameri, land of the gods, such as Hatshepsut. Such as when we go inside Hatshepsut tomb, we find pineapples, we find grapes, we find corn. Hatshepsut was known for sending out 3-year voyages that took 3 years for them to return, and they will return with this. That's why they find the tobacco in the mummies. That's why they found the cocaine in the mummies. We are the innovators who are going around the world creating colonies. So our story here in the Americas is what they use for organized religion around the world. Why do I say that? Because all of these religions, the person that they're worshiping is a resurrection deity, where it be Osiris with Kemet. He's a resurrect. He died and came back. Now we see a lot of people with those attributes. So a lot of people get down on the Christians about Jesus and say, well, Jesus, he has the same birthday as these other gods. Well, that's because they all have the same characteristics and they're all the same people, but they're coming from a person. What is a resurrection deity? They call it a green man. What is a green man? That's why Osiris depicted as green. Here we have Bacall, he's depicted as green. And you're at Westminster Abbey, there's a green man of Jesus with the sprouts coming out. What is that? That means agriculture. So, and we find even in the Bible, people like Tammuz, when you go into the Samaria, they're weeping. Why are they weeping? The women are weeping deities, the Black Madonnas, they're weeping. They're weeping because April showers bring May flowers. This is harvest and this is agriculture. So once we got the agriculture and taught people agriculture, they didn't have to follow herds. They didn't have to follow the animals to eat in a nomadic way. They were able to use the land, use the resources from the land, and stay in one spot long enough to create something as a pyramid, as a mound, or as a community of for our people to live in. And so I think that's something that needs to be said. One more thing, Scotland. Scotland is real big on TikTok now with the youngsters. They're saying they found their American cousins. Well, we share a lot of surnames with them. Not only that, in Scotland, there's a place called the Rising Temple. The Rising Temple was created by the St. Clair family. The St. Clair family is who they talk about in the movie, The Da Vinci Code. Now, the movie is about a bloodline that goes back to Christ.
10,000
They're
lives.
saying that Christ is a real figure. Now, the St. Clairs, Hughes de Payne's, the first Knight of Templar, Grand Master of the Knights of Templar, is going to settle in Scotland. He's going to marry into the St. Clair family. Henry St. Clair built what is called the Rising Chapel. Inside the Rising Chapel, we find cactus, we find Indian corn. And also, he's known to take a voyage to Canada. Now, the Templar flag and the Mi'kmaq Indians' war flag are identical. Another indication that our signs is around the world. One more I'll leave you with is the purple people. Now, who they call the purple people? The Phoenicians. Who were the Phoenicians? The Olmec. A lot of people say that the Mende were the Olmec. Well, that's BS. And no disrespect to Ivan Van Sertima, but in his book, he never cited his sources. meaning when he said that a pharaoh from the 25th dynasty came to America, he never named the pharaoh. When he said Abu Bakr left from Timbuktu and came here with 300 ships, no one never told us where they went. He brought up a lot of these facts. No one never went to go check. I checked, and we have no receipts on them. But yeah, to show you have what's called the purple people, and here they went and created the first highly civilization in Europe called the Minoans. So you find the Minoans. The Minoans are going to have colonies. You're going to go into the Mycenaean era, and then you're going to go into what's called the Greek area. But you have these Phoenician colonies such as Tyre, such as Blows. These are the people who Egypt are outsourcing their greatness for. They're using them for their naval powers. They're using them for their wood to build their coffins, their papyrus. So the people that's saying the metal netter, and they were the first to write, well, you had to get papyrus from people out of Byblos. You have Tyre, that's where Europea comes from, where Europe gets her name. So these things, well, they're known as the purple people. This purple dye is also found in the Americas and commonly used by the Mayans.
Is this indigo?
Not the indigo. The indigo will serve a different purpose. And you'll have the Mingos coming to South Carolina and take over their trade, which would be Huguenots. That'll be later in the 1700s. But you also have Mayan blue. The Mayan blue that they mined out of Georgia and took back to the Yucatan, because the migration doesn't come from Mexico or the Yucatan to here. It comes from the southeastern states, whether it be Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, and Florida, and it goes down into the Yucatan. So like they said, corn was cultivated in the Yucatan, but the Yucatan is it's a rainforest. You can't grow. That's why they had to use science to modify the ground for it to be able to grow this. But it originally came out of central Mississippi. And that's what we see the mounds spring up with the triangle from the Denver Mounds to Okmulgee and Macon to Monk's Mound that you've been talking about for a couple shows.
Okay, I got a question for you. I've been waiting to ask you this all day. And I mean, it's not that it's not obvious. Do you believe in God?
I believe in the higher power. I believe in the creator. That's greater than myself. So yeah, I say yeah.
So in from your perspective, religion has been used to pimp us.
Yeah, religion is organized and it's intentional. So the allegories and different things. It was. But we had what was called spiritual systems, and we did venerate people. That's what we see, what they call free energy building, old world building that they use as our capital building and different things of this nature. Like the building in Philadelphia, what is it? They said associated with Mother's Day or something, but it's a huge building. I think it's I can't remember what it is. It's an old building. It sits right in the middle of the street. You have to go through the interstate associated with I gotta find my Philly video. These old world buildings, these free energy buildings that they talk about. These were places they went to venerate or honor. And what happened when the European powers came in, they used the system called fusion. So they used the gods that we already had and found out when they got here that we were already practicing these things. Like the Quiche Mayans got into it with the conquistadors because they had what was called Hun-Hun-Apu, who in the book of Acts, they said Jesus hung from a tree. Well, Hun-Hun-Apu, when you look in the book called Apocrypha, he was hung from a tree and resurrected. And so they saw nothing different in these cultures that they brought. They brought the Virgin Mary. Well, they already had Ixchel, the Mayans, they already had Ixchel, and the Aztec had what is called Tenassi. And they fused those gods together and created Lady Guadalupe. 1536 with Juan Diego, who's also a melanated, she's a melanated deity. I don't know if you can see it. Do I have my picture? Thought I had a picture with me. I don't know what. All right, it's cool.
Hey, y'all tap that like button. Tap that like button.
Yeah, okay. Here we go.
It's love in the super chat in the cash.
So this me right here, and this is what they call Lady Guadalupe, but she's Ixchel or Tenassi.
In the real way,
the sun. Can you see it, OG?
No, sir.
West Coast.
Okay, it's not showing on your side. Okay. All right, I'll take it down. But yeah, so it's a system called fusion that they went through, and they end up fusing the gods that we already venerated here to fit their organized and create an organized religion from.
One of the things I learned when I was researching Black Wall Street was the connection, the interconnection. I'm in Baltimore. We mid-Atlantic. Some cats in Baltimore don't even want to go to DC. So that's a whole different tribe. They like go there. Baltimore might be more club music, different tribes.
Right.
But I'm a cat. I go to DC. I love DC. I go to New York, go to wherever. And each tribe has their own rhythm, own music. And I was going somewhere with that. I think I just got sidetracked. How do we bring us together? We Moors, we Hebrew Israelites, we Indigenous. We don't know who the hell we are. I do know. Now, they can call God whatever they want, but I know there's a God. I tell you this because I wouldn't have made it to 60 if it weren't something saving me. Because I did everything possible.
Yeah.
Including
to not be right here today. I feel you, OG. I do. How do we bring us together?
You said something has come out that I've learned, and I never posed this question to myself. It wasn't you I heard it from. Somebody came on, and I appreciate you for bridging us together. But they raised the question about our connection to Africa, and what I appreciate about what you're doing is you're willing to listen. I think if elders listen to you and give you respect, we might learn something. And you have also, to me, without saying, have made it clear that it's okay not to know. But when information comes, be open to it. I can't prove that I'm directly connected to Africa beyond what somebody told me.
Yeah, they make you and 12.5 million other people the same. Yeah. That's what we have in common. We don't know. These aren't stories we got from the house. These are stories we got when we got into society. These are the stories we got when we went to these schools. Propaganda that was put on us. 1969, you had, even before then, these people were giving out a lot of money. But it was a brother that was on the show. You had Brother Tavis on. Now, Tavis now was on the show with this guy who said in 1969, when he left college at 19 years old, they had took out $10 million and they were giving out grants to these young students to go back and basically Africanize their communities. So he got $70,000 grant. Don't owe nobody no money, but you just go back and teach them how I taught you. Push this indoctrination on them. And so we had a lot of that. And I spoke with Dr. Phil Valentine, and and I spoke to him about them taking the money. And how can y'all tell us that these are our enemies, or that they set forth this when you guys took the money? Y'all had the power to create the curriculum. Y'all created the curriculums, brought it to us as hidden history or forgotten history. Y'all put all us in one pot under the black term is they allied. Judge Joe Brown told me he was there when they coined the term black. They voted on black. He was there, Nation of Islam, and a few other people. He was there when the Pan-Africans came in the 1970s and wanted to link the black movement up with the Pan-African movement because they were two separate entities at the time. These type of things where people intentionally knew what they were doing, but they were being
paid.
Yeah, they've been paid a lot of money.
I know the question. The question has been raised. What did we get from Africa? And let me tell you, I sat in my room looking at the walls. I never thought of that question. I never thought of that. I think of a lot of things. I never thought of that question. It made me think, to say the least, it made me think, other than intrinsically, and that's where me and the young man Mike kind of got us straight. He said, what did Africa ever do for you? And I had to think about it. Now, we think in our modern 21st century mind that we get our dance, our rhythm, our swag, our music. I did want to ask you who your favorite rapper is, but and now I gotta think, I gotta be willing to accept that funk, the blues, is more American than we really realize. Because I'm thinking music back then, they had what? String instruments, maybe the drums.
We had trumpets. We had everything we have right now. And we can go back to the walls of the Mayans, and we see them playing trumpets. We see them playing saxophones and these instruments, flutes and things in this nature back then. So that culture right there is our ancestors left it on the wall. You know, today in the South we have something called Battle of the Band. That's really popular. Yeah, Battle of the Band.
The HBCUs.
Woo, they turn it up, and they really and so that's our culture. That's why when I came, I think the message that I had resonated with a lot of people because I told them the culture that you live in today is the culture you've been living in. That's Indian culture. That's indigenous culture. People call it country. They used to laugh at me how I talk. I'm country. But it's indigenous. We live off the land. We own our land. We got land in our family since 1836 with a historical marker on it. 37 with a historical marker from Texas on it because Texas was created 1836. So, and we were pillars in that. South Carolina, we have a monument. East Side DeKalb and Atlanta, we have a monument. So our family still have a lot of this land in our family today. We have these family cemeteries that's old, and this land been in our family over 200 years. I play a tape of my auntie always talking about during the land session, transferring the land from one generation to the next. We hadn't had one over 100 years, and so they were trying to take the property, and they made her go back 6 generations, the state of Louisiana, because they feel like us as people that look like us don't know our family or history. But again, like I told you, her grandma had her at 17. It been ordered. She was taught. Her great grandma was taught that way, and so she gave it to her, and everyone passes it down. Some kind of way the ball got in my hand, and I wanted a touchdown. I wanted to score. Yeah.
So we find out on this show about Walter Plecker. I learned that all my life, I'm 60, one drop rule.
1924.
Back to what I was thinking at 20, 30 years old. Yeah, boy, one drop of black blood, I'm black. But it's so much deeper than that.
Oh, yeah. A lot of things happened in 1924. You had the Racial Integrity Act, and that's the one drop. What Walter Plecker did affected those that were just in his, because he was over the Virginia vital certificate. So if you were inside of Virginia at that time, and then plus he went after targeted families. So it didn't involve everyone.
So
yeah, we do get the Jordan case where they say all in Virginia, where they say all non-reservational Indians are classified as Negro. Now we do have that, but with Walter Plunkett, that was 1924. He ran with some people called the what was they? The White League, and this is one of the guys, a guy named Ernest Severe Cox. He's the guy that wrote a book called White America. He wanted to repatriate Negroes from America to Africa. And in his book, White America, he said they will arise a Moses of the Negro race who will lead them to the land, freedom, meaning from America to Africa. Guess who that was?
I'm scared.
Marcus, who they call him Moses. Messiah God.
That's where the Messiah.
Yeah, they called him Moses. Yeah, that's why they called him Moses.
You said he was duped?
Nah, he wasn't duped. He knew exactly what he was doing. Marcus Garvey ran. He was a timekeeper on a plantation in man, where my boy Carimio from? Yeah, he was a timekeeper on the plantation. He come from a wealthy family. There's a lecture with Dr. John Henry Clark speaking, saying Marcus Garvey come from he was born with a silver spoon. His family were wealthy. A lot of them hid their wealth. A lot of those families changed their names. Even the guy that started the Pan-African Conference in 1897, Henry Sylvester Williams, well, they lied about where he was from, and because they were hiding that these people family were actually plantation owners. So the slave master and the plantation owner, they trying to tell us this the white boy, and the whole time it's them. The slave master looked exactly like them. The king of these places looked exactly like them. Facts. So yeah, no white boy ain't did nothing. Prove it. What's his name? And can't none of them tell us. And they said, yeah. I'm bad. My bad.
No, you're doing great. I gotta go to something. And some people, if you're watching this show, we have the legendary Big Chief Topcatz. And this is a question. You think I've asked some questions that are important to me? I'm just gonna go straight to it. When I watched your presentation, and a lot of us, we struggle with it, the whole Jesus thing. When we look at what the church, because one of the entities you go into is the Amish. And there's some of us, the Amish were good, they were nice, they weren't as bad. But I'm looking at how Christianity, and you ripped Richard Allen a whole new hind parts. I love God, but we have been played. They have played with our minds, our psyches, our souls, our spirits. Tell me about this Jesus thing. How did they use the church is used so diabolically on our community to reshape our thinking? Help me out. What do you think of the church?
Okay.
And do you like some good gospel music? I want to know, have you ever had some good gospel music, some good old soul food, and went to sleep?
I say this right here. The best naturally born, gifted singers that represent, I'm talking about the sound, the vibration that represents this America, this land we stand on, you're gonna find them groomed out of the church. If they ain't come out the church, I don't want to hear it. Yeah, especially we talking about country soul, we talking about blues, we talking about, if they ain't come out the church, I don't want to hear it. You hear me, OG? I don't even want to hear it, because that's where the culture, see, a lot of people, they feel like, they took things or they gave us. Nah, man, that's us. That's soul. Ain't nothing like, man, real. Let's go back to man, from Aretha them to man,
I thought you was gonna start with like Mahalia Jackson.
That's who I was thinking of. I'm thinking of the song that will become heaven. Yeah, I was thinking of that Mahalia Jackson.
But you're saying beyond the music, the vibration. Tell me about the vibration.
Well, right now, the vibration that's moving the world on this indigenous is the Southern Soul, the renaissance of the Southern Soul. Something that us in the, as country folk, we practice for as trail ride, for as line dancing, and that's you going from the Carolinas, you going to Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee. I mean, you can name it. Everybody know how to swing out. They know how to 1-2 step. And this was our culture. If you go back to the cowboy era, that's what they did. If we go back to the Harlem Renaissance, you see them dressed in the feathers at the Cotton Club, and they're spinning around, and and they spinning, and you bringing it in. The kid and play even with the leg lock and all of that. These things, and we did the couple dances, and these are the things they imitate at the powwows today. But that directly come from our culture, and so today, with everyone boots on the ground, and they stumping OG, and the earth is responding. A lot of people are looking for their family and their genealogy right now. They're saying their ancestor's name. So this re-emerging in this motion that we're getting right now, this is spiritual, and it's coming back through Southern Soul, where you have hip hop and the drill culture, the black culture, the culture that they created for us, molded for us to fill in. Now we got all that violence. Now they coming with this love music that just make you feel happy, make you want to dance. You feel it in your soul. I'm in quick story for our land. I'm in Jamaica this year, and they was doing karaoke. And so the guy said, all right, this is the last song, we leaving. He played Boys to Me and End of the Road. So I go up and I asked him, did he know the song Boots on the Ground? I tipped him, shook his hand, walked off. He turned it on. The whole place went crazy. And I just wanted to check. I said 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And even the Jamaicans knew the dance. Even they was in it, and it looked like the scene in Sinners, blew the roof out of the place. Yeah, but that's that culture that's sweeping, and it's a spiritual one, and it's an ancestor, because a lot of things are happening for this paradigm that's coming of us claiming, and some of us reclaiming our indigenous birthright here.
The most important question I could ask you is, how do we got 70% single mother households, but we also struggle with mass incarceration. America is 5% of the world's population, but has 25% of the people behind the walls. I know where I live at, 21217 in Baltimore, most of the people returning from prison come back to my zip code. Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, we got a similar demon, mass incarceration. 30% of people in state prisons, black man, melanated man,
Appreciate the love.
in federal prison, 40%. And we're only 15, 20%, what have you, of the population. How do we get back to where we need to get?
Foundation, my message was to get the doctrines out and us go back home. Everyone start over. Malcolm said something powerful. He said, when you come in, leave your religion at the door. But man, that was hard for him to do. Why? Because they was already religious. So we need a system that you can keep everything that's about yourself, but you can still find a common ground. So what I did was, okay, I'm not really worried about what you believe or what God you praise, or where you at in your journey. My question to you is, how much do you know about yourself? Do you know who your great grandparents are? Do you know where your family migrations come from? So how far back in your genealogy did any of your family fight in the Civil War? Do you have veterans in your family? Anybody made contributions? You could tell me world history. We studied under these scholars 20, 30 years. They told us all the books to buy. All of us bought these books, but we still are missing the centerpiece, and that's who we are. So through that, by showing people the power of going back in their genealogy and learning their story, their family lineage, and them having the story, that has empowered people more. I've seen that empower so many people to the point that it's more of us than it is Pan-Africans. When I first came on the scene, the Pan-Africans ran it. This was their world. They bullied they was the bullies of the block. And I came out and I said, line them up one by one until it went no more. Until we're here today. I'm on here with OG Donnie, and it's more of us than it's more of them now, because a lot of them, even if they're FBA and these new groups that are picking it up and pushing it, their message still came from me, their foundation. Who are you? You want reparations? Well, that's a legal matter. If you're going into court, you need evidence. You have to prove what happened to you. We can't just say, we were black and slaves from Africa. You're gonna have to prove who that slave was, prove who the enslaver was. What tribe did they come from? What year did they leave Africa? All of these questions that these leaders, Pan-African master teachers taught us, they gave us the offense on OG, but they never gave us the defense to protect ourselves in case somebody countered us. If they act, okay, I'm a slave from Africa. Okay, what part of Africa? They didn't give us the answers. They just gave us a generalized curriculum that I think they did a poor job on. And instead of collectively putting us all together, it's impossible because we don't have the same parents. If you don't have the same mother and father, then you don't have the same story. So everyone is unique. We have our own story. We have to trace back, starting from ourselves, and we have to act like we lost our keys. You're not gonna go back 5,000 years ago to a pyramid builder, the mound builders, to look for your keys. If I lose my keys, I'm gonna go back to the last place I was at, start from where I'm at, and I'm gonna work my way back. That's what we have to do in our genealogy and learn who we are versus what we are. Again, I say this in closing, they taught us the history, not knowing that one day they would have to fight. And that's how people like brothers like Jabbar, shout out to Jabbar, very intelligent brother. But I had a strategy that I knew could beat him, because I knew that how they were taught, they were only taught offense and they weren't taught defense. So
did he ever, and I didn't watch it, did he ever connect with his indigenous roots? He came out swinging.
Yeah, he have indigenous roots, but for an African, he couldn't prove it.
He came out
3-0.
He said that only 2 to 3% of melanated people have indigenous roots, and he sounded like Skip Gates at Harvard. Because how do you know 2 to 3% of all these black people? How do you know that? How did he know that?
Where's that information coming from? Johns Hopkins University or something? Yeah, it's coming from one of these institutions. And so
we're Western receipts.
When we dealing with the institutions, we went up against them. So like I said, Skip Gates, since you brought him up, right now they have the slave voyages. This is what gives them credit to say that the transatlantic slave trade happened. It's a database on what they use to say where they're getting their numbers from. I can't show it on here, but it's cool. Next time I come on my show, I'll make sure I can share my screen. And I want to say,
I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say this guy, he's 85 years old. He's been studying since 1969. This project is 20 years old, and we went in there and defeated him. And respectfully, he said that this is an ongoing project, and they're relying on scholars and other people to help out. And the information that I spoke about earlier, for as did we leave this and that, and I said the transatlantic slave trade happened here, leaving here to the West Indies and the Caribbean islands in England. Well, he admitted it. He also admitted that in 1870, on the census, there were less than 1% of Africans living in North America, meaning the population that came after the Civil War was the population of indigenous people already in America.
So we weren't descendants of slaves, we were descendants of prisoners of war.
Not at all. They don't believe that. Even when you go overseas, I see you are traveling. You've been around the world. That's one of my things too. I heard a famous quote. It said, "Life is a book," and those who don't travel, unfortunately, only read one page. And so when I seen you had been around the world, and I'm like, those experiences. I'm the same way. The things that I teach about, I go to the places because I want to know. I want to be able to document and record this to make sure that the generations behind us, no one can come back. We can build a foundation so solid no one can come back and move this. And by us going through our genealogy and identifying with who we are through our bloodline, because that's all we can be. And that's why our surnames matter. Because a lot of these surnames go back to royal bloodlines and empires and rulers and people who contributed a lot to America. And we reading about our family in these history books and not finding ourselves in the story because they're generalizing and they're not naming names. But that's not their fault because we're going outside the home being taught this and institutionalized when we're given another story, or we can just go in the family cemetery and find out who we are. It's been here 200 years. So how can someone who just met me tell me who I am? All of those people. You are more, brother. They don't ask you. You a Hebrew. You from the 12 tribe. They don't ask you who you are. You're African. If you this color, then you're African. All of these are doctrines who came to give us an identity when we had already got one at home, when we came to the age of understanding. And that was around 5-6 years old. We got those messages, even if we didn't understand it. Somewhere in our journey, no matter what we started at, today we understand and we hear those words clear as day, who we were.
All right, so before you go, who's your favorite rapper, man? I gotta find
Tupac, Scarface, and DMX. That's my top three.
Oh, you got the X-Man. X gonna give it to you, my man. I love me some X. How
Tupac, Scarface,
and DMX. I'm gonna give you the screen. Tell them
Mama Mia.
All right. So one thing we haven't man, I'm a independent researcher, I travel, do work. I'm a lecturer. I have hundreds of lectures. My highest lecture is 960 slides, all sourced up, all on American history. And it goes so in depth. That's why they're so long. 700 slides, 800 slides, lectures, 600. And I know I broke probably Guinness. I can get in the Guinness World Record probably. But I'm also an author. I wrote 6 books, authored 6 books. 2 of them being children books. You can find them on I'm Not Black, I'm Indian, Miseducation. Okay, I had them ready. I say, man, I'm be ready, folks. They're in the house. But my website is BigChiefUniversity.com. I do want to say this. On 11/22, November 22, we have what's called FAID, FAID, Foundation American Indigenous Day. So we travel as a group as well. So we've done, this is gonna be our 19th group trip together. All of these mounds that you show, OG, the pyramids and all of those, we've been going as a group for the last 3 years. And we're going on our 19th group tour this year. So now we're opening it up to the public. Went on Stone Mountain this year. I don't know, did you get to see that footage? Us at Stone Mountain?
No, sir, but I've been there. I was in Georgia in
Can you pull
'83.
it up? Can you pull it up?
Stone Mountain, yeah.
Yeah, go to my page and it's gonna be, what is it gonna say? American Indian Greatness. This is just 1 minute. No music in it or nothing.
Yeah, tap
So
like button.
yeah, this is a little bit of what we do. We did pyramid tours. We've been on 2 international tours, and you know, we just trying to find people who walking that journey, who are looking for themselves in the story. You know, I think the most powerful thing you can give someone is knowledge of self. Now they taught us knowledge of self was the knowing the history of the world or ancient history when it's not fitting or helping for the day that we in today. Can't do nothing for us. We have to create something that fits for the world we living in. We just they tried to unallow the president yesterday. They unallowed another political figure who was big with the youth, and there's a lot of controversy around that. And so these type of things like this here, I want us to understand that no one's coming to save us, and that, you know, unity is something that we need. So when OG, you found the video? It's called, it should be me on the front. If you go to videos, go to my channel videos, and it's American Indian Greatness. This is our land.
Bear with me a second. I got
no problem.
I'll
talk to them. Make sure y'all hit the like button out there, and make sure y'all support OG show, Brother Donnie G show. All the hard work he's been putting in for all of these years. And
share screen.
I gotta come back because next time I come back, I'm sharing my screen. We going through some information. Yeah, we're gonna come and go through some hardcore facts. You know, I know you've been bringing a lot of indigenous people on, but we want to bring some. We want to answer those hard questions. We want the hard questions. We want the misunderstandings. We want to make those things clear, keen. So we don't even have to deal with them no more, you know, because a lot of things can very, very easily be proved. And yeah, so I you know, this was just a introduction.
It's a warm up, but
yeah, there you go.
I like your spirit. See, wherever you go, whether it's New Orleans, Brooklyn, New York, the Middle East, the Gaza Strip, it's the spirit. And your spirit has been kind. You've been willing, and that's what I think. If somebody willing to learn, then teach them. And you have
right. And my favorite part of the day is Q&A. Yeah, a lot of people, they run from me. I'm gonna drop the lectures. I'm gonna write the books, and I'm gonna stand there and answer every question. I want y'all to ask me questions because I know what I'm talking about, and I have debt. And I've done the research. I've done the work, you know, and I paid a lot of money, you know. Ain't nobody pay for them tickets. It ain't cheap to travel the world. It ain't cheap at all. And then, you know, I like to stay in nice places. So,
how did you know you were on to something? When did it hit you?
Ooh. Cause I retired like 3 times. I only been here 4.5, 5 years. So I retired 3 times. When I felt that it would have had to been after we started meeting up in 2022. Cause I was iffy about staying. My passion was in it, but the infighting, it wasn't any unity in it. And so I left the street game, because I ain't want to die with a broken heart. And then I come here and it's the same behavior patterns, and I'm saying I'm too valuable and my time is too. I'm taking away from time on things I could be putting my energy in if this is what it's gonna be, because I didn't come here for that. You know, we came here to reach the people and be on a higher vibration and understanding, because that's what it's gonna take. Because we got everyone against us, especially as an Indian at that time. And when I seen nobody wanted to fight, it was a day everybody was like, I'm gone, I'm leaving.
Yeah, what up, though?
And I was there, OG, and I said, damn, everybody left. I'm in here by myself. I'm like, I can't leave. I ain't got nowhere to go.
I ain't got nowhere to
go. So no matter how big, no matter how many letters behind their name, no matter who come around their corner and they want some smoke about the Indian topic, they was gonna have to go through me. And so
did you come across this guy, Chief John Horse, down in Florida?
Yeah. Shout out to Chief John Horse, Juan Caballo. Yeah,
Juan Caballo, that's my hero. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay. My kinfolk ran with him, William Powell. They call him Osceola. That's my eighth ancestor. Yeah, it's my eighth ancestor. Yeah, I've been down to Florida. I went down there, Alligator Alley. I went down to the Cypress, Big Cypress, the reservation. I went to Fort Moultrie in South Carolina to his grave site in front of the fort. Osceola, my eighth ancestor out of Alabama. My family migrated from Alabama to Texas.
So they tell me that Texas, we know about Tulsa, 70 to 80 black towns, never talked about. But right. East Texas, I just need you, this is the last question. East Texas had 500 black towns. Is that so?
Yeah. East Texas, that's one. I'm an East Texas Indian, heart and soul, you know. East Texas was where it's a part of the Mississippian Empire as well. We have mounds here too, which are the cattle mounds. And cattle mounds, we have agriculture. Our agriculture is crazy. We have the best cattle down here. The first cowboys come from down here in the Houston area down here. We were the ones that led the cattle drives. Yeah, Pecos, Texas, where the rodeos began. We were those wild Indians on horseback. East Texas, the food culture. We eat the soul food. We eat the seafood. We brought together blues and created Zydeco with the blues. Music called Zydeco. East Texas, the towns there, a lot of them are impoverished today or low populations because, like me, I'm second generation from the country, but my family still have a lot of land out there. I'm talking about like 100, 150 acres, 200 acres on this side, still going back from the 1800s. But so that's why I'm still country like this, because my mom, they went back and forth from the country in the summer, but I was raised in the city in Texas. So I'm like a third, 1.5 generation city boy outside of the country, East Texas. Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with being from the country. Baltimore is in Maryland. Maryland is technically the South.
Yeah, they call it the South. Yeah. Y'all in the Mason-Dixie. And with the country, now I had no problem with it because country culture has woke up the world. You know, Beyonce got all the women out here with the cowgirl hats and the boots and all of that. But when the country, the Southern soul music came in and the line dances and that was different. That took over even Beyonce buzz. We hearing people that don't even have a name. We never heard of them coming out of small towns like Florence and backwoods of South Carolina. And they playing this music and the people are feeling it and dancing. The kids are dancing to it. The elders. It's something that we all can relate to because that's their soul. That's what we all have in common. And that's what we all came together. A lot of us fought plenty of wars together. A lot of us was forced to amalgamate into Confederates and to protect and maintain our moral principles. We wanted our land. We were going to protect our families, our land. We were going to protect our families, our assets, and we were willing to give our lives. And we see a lot of our family fought in the war. I have 5 fifth great grandfathers fought in the Civil War. Nancy Shiffley Hanks, Abraham Lincoln grandma is my grandma as well. These type of things. My family being the chief down in the Texas Revolution at that time, which is noted in Commerce County, Shepherd County, and
and even on the site of the Indian website, these types of things. But I'm an East Texas Indian. And you say you coming down? You gonna see if you can come down November?
Man, I'm coming through there November 22nd. I got to come. I got to bring you a Black Wall Street award if you want me. We got to bring it. Man. I am proud of you. Thank you for taking this show to another level. Thank you for being a human being.
Blissful, did you
but
get
also
your,
thank you for teaching us about our indigenous, autochthonous natural roots.
Did you get your package? Appreciate you, OG, and I'm here for you anytime. Just give me, I'm 1 phone call away.
Yes, sir. Thank you, big brother.
All right, thank you.
Good evening, world.
All right. Somebody say, damn, that was good. Somebody say, damn, yeah, nigga snap. Nigga snap. I guess we'll end it on this right here then. Say, damn, Chief, I ain't know you snap like that. No, you fuck around come doing. You ain't doing anything like that. Hold on. What is it doing? Sardnetter. What is they playing? Okay. Or in a docile position. But the truth of the matter is, so when we're speaking about the Spanish, another thing that they taught us through this Pan-African story was something called watch Miss Phillips say, when the next, I want to do it this year in a couple months. If y'all want to, it depends on how big y'all want to organize. Now, next year, now I talked to Uncle Rod, Chief Pontiac, one of the first times we spoke. He spoke about us doing a what is it called? Like a carnival. My bad. What? Yeah, he spoke about us doing like a carnival. Now, I would love to put that together, like a carnival for us. The thing would be, what would we do with it? Because we want everybody to dress up in their feathers and all of that. I'm going to bring out the information. I actually did a lecture before showing that we practice carnival as to bring in spring. Now, that's why it's always around springtime or the solstice. You feel me? It's always around that solstice to come in the spring. Well, we venerated that down here. And through that veneration, that's how carnival came to be. And they try to take it in this pan. They try to Africanize it and tell us someone allowed us. You know, it's done with doing Lent and all of that. But if you put the French and the Spanish, both of them dealt with in Catholicism to a degree. So whenever you see them in space, it's gonna be Catholicism. You feel me? No different than Haiti and other ports. You feel me? So I say that to say that the practice was already here. That's why around the same time, everyone, Veracruz, Brazil, Trinidad, everybody getting down what they get down. except us. Shout out to New Orleans, now they handling their business. But you know, we got to get back to it. You feel me? That's what we do. Exactly. T say bring in the new year. That's how we bring in the real new year. And so, man, that's something that's high on my list. And I'm gonna tell y'all, man, it's real hard to get a lot of the brothers and sisters together. You feel me? That's on this topic, homie. That should be like the hardest thing in the world. So it's like, if we can get, you know, I always say anything is possible as long as you have the right people. So, you know, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna talk to, you know, some of the right people who I know, who I've dealt with in the past, and people who hopefully I'm deal with in the future. But I know some people with some good hearts and who can see that vision. So yes, we're gonna need y'all to dress up. We want to do the floats. We want every part of our culture there in representation. The other day, I was on Young Elder, homie come say, damn, Topcatz, you be hustling. And I'm like, nah, it's deeper than that. It ain't about the hustle. It's about the representation. You feel me? I'm about representation. Like, we're gonna get our just due. We not finna lay down and let nobody think we forgot. So when they used to point and say, well, y'all ain't done it, y'all can't show us a picture with all of y'all in there, this internet shit. Then we start bouncing out. They got to talking about pyramids. Then we start showing up a pyramid. They talking about the mound. This ain't real. We got to show it. We put representation everywhere. What couldn't Junior say? Put some paint where it ain't. And that was my job. And I only wanted all of the hard questions. And now we in a time where I'm like, it's time to start bringing the tribes together. You know what I mean? And organizing in the real Indian way. You know, when we look at the history of the U.S., homie, this shit was created. It was created through an uprising, through a rebellion. You know, the way things were going, well, there were a group of people that saw that they could, you know, they can do it better. And man, it was an uprising. It was you know, they went for their move. And so what I'm saying, not exactly using the tactics that they did, because a large portion of it dealt with the minds of them. And these think tanks, these societies that we speak about, you feel me? These were very, very great men who were incarnating at the same time, and they put their minds together. And shit, you look up today, you feel me? And you have people out here who were victims of this. And it's because they wasn't strategizing. And they didn't understand that they were being strategized against. So my game is this here. Since we can pick the play, we identified it, man. We've been going years and years. And I'm saying these communities that we built up, it's time that we start to communicate so we can get understandings of each other, understandings what we are, and you know, the rest we can close the curse, and you know, and we take care of business on that end. But you know, the bad blood in the past and all that, ain't nobody, you know, in certain situations, you feel me? Non-biased reasons is morals and principle reasons. You feel me? And I feel like we can achieve that, you know, and bring it back and do it annually. You feel me? Big ass carnival, homie, with all of the tribes come out from the north, northwest, northeast, west coast, midwest, up north. You feel me? East coast, midwest, down south, Gulf Coast. You feel me? Everybody come together and we put on. But we gotta be by the water though. Florida, it might be hard, it's gonna be expensive than the motherfucker. We fucking around and do something, I don't know, Mobile might be live. But this is why these conversations need to be had, though. And that's something that's really been on my heart and my mind. And once we do, y'all know we got to go all life. We have to go all life. Because we don't need them niggas talking about we false claiming. We want to show every side of every representation of our culture, homie. You feel me? I'm talking about from the different parts of America that we sit on, and them cultures we have. We wanna bring all of those out in representation. You feel me? Man, that shit there gonna send a whole message around the world, homie. And we standing in our truth, because that's a time where everybody get to rep they shit, rep who they are. You know what I'm saying? The world see them in their tradition. You feel me? Man, listen. And it can happen, homie. So, you know, I leave it on that. You feel me? We ain't even gonna go through the last part. We'll catch that another time. Man, appreciate y'all for pushing up on me over here to the TT family. Appreciate the likes. Appreciate the gifts. Appreciate the time. That's my time. We gone. Hey, I'm telling y'all, mark my words. Hey, the link at the top of the joint, man. Man, we had a goal to get 20 gone. I don't even think we got one. Y'all could at least got half of them. Y'all get these last little 20 up off of me. Yeah, I don't even think we got one. Yeah, we ain't got but 20 more left. Y'all gonna knock that 20 out. And yeah, so I can invest in this new project for us. The genealogy project. And so yeah, let's make sure we taking care of business on it. So y'all knock them 20 out. We got 20 drops left. And if you've been taking your drops and taking them right, then you already know them hoes gonna get you right. Yeah, sure, they gonna get you right. So man, yeah, y'all take care of that, man. At least get half of them up out of there. But yeah, man, we wanna start working on that genealogy piece, man. I don't want to just keep pouring into the game, and you know, it's a waiting process. So yeah, man, that's my time right there, man. Popping out. What up, though? Gang. Shout out to everybody that pulled up. Show love. Appreciate y'all. That's my motherfucking time. I love y'all. As long as we got each other, we don't need nobody else. Any gang you don't bang. Big BCU.
I like that Honduran cigar, the spirits rise. Smoke curling like ancestors whispering in the skies. Dr. Sebi in my left ear saying heal from inside. This ain't no new land, we the ones they try to deny. Before Columbus ever dreamed the ship steer, we was building mounds, doing rituals with no fear. From Yucatan to Galveston, New Orleans near. That's a triangle of soul, but the map been clear. Second lines ain't parades, that's ancestral rights. Tambourines and feathers under full moonlight. We ain't immigrants now, we the original might. Built pyramids and bone flutes before Rome took flight. Topcatz said it loud, stop begging for permission. Our culture ain't missing, it's just deep in tradition. We ain't African cause they told us we remember the mission. The land speaks Creole, soul food and intuition. We been here through the blood and the drum, through the elders, the chants and the kiss of the sun. Smoke rise from the leaf, yeah, we talk to the sky. And the ancestors' rhythm, we never die. We been here, oh yeah, we been here. Way before they wrote their lives, we still live. This our home, not a place we disappear. Jaheim singing true through the pain and the tears. Granny sat me down, roll something slow. Said when you puff, give thanks, let the cosmos know. I inhale the jungle, exhale the flow. Spitting stories that the textbook still scared to show. Cigar lit like a torch from ancient rites. Aromas like prayers to the Orishas at night. New Orleans ain't a tourist tale, it's black divine. Where the jazz horns been time and the spirits align. Forget Columbus, we was dancing in stars, trading turquoise, dripping culture in bars. Drums talking codes, spirits moving cars. Look close, the past ain't gone, it's just behind these stars. From Congo Square to Trammy porches, we built this land, no need for endorsements. The Mardi Gras beats ain't just for decor, that's soul armor, homie, we was gods before war. We been here through the blood and the drum, through the elders, the chants and the kiss of the sun. Smoke rise from the leaf, yeah, we talk to the sky. In the ancestors' rhythm, we never die. We been here, oh yeah, we been here. Way before they wrote their lives, we still live. This our home, not a place we disappear. Jaheim singing true through the pain and the tear, through the blood and the drum, through the elders, the chants and the kiss of the sun. Smoke rise from the leaf, yeah, we talk to the sky. In the ancestors' rhythm, we never die. We been here, oh yeah, we been here. Way before they wrote their lives, we still live. It's our home, not a place we disappear. Jaheim singing true through the pain and the tears. We been here, oh yeah, we been here. Way before they wrote their lives, we still live. It's our home, not a place we disappear. Jaheim singing true through the pain and the tears.